everybody, welcome to Oscar Vision Files. Welcome to me in. So we are back with part 3, number 3 of the girls trip, the trash Aspen girls trip. Now I know you're probably like you just going down this rabbit hole, but it's okay, whatever. Okay, but teach his own. If you don't want to be here, then you can get out of it. Okay, I just want to get my 2 cents. This is something new I'm trying on my channel, so I'm gonna go back to my other things, but right now we just get into this. But not to take too much of you guys this time. I'm looking at the computer. I gotta learn how to look at this camera here. But this is Deja. Now I was getting Deja and Michaela mixed up. Deja, you know how they be saying, you know, they never, you know, we made it out the group chat. Well, she never made it out the group chat. Okay, so Michaela is the one that went, and I guess they are friends, and she was the one, I guess, that Deja was talking about that she had to go with her to a trip or something like that. But anyway, so when I was watching Tina's when I was watching Tina's video, I noticed when I was editing that the math was it was 405, then it said 5 something. So we're gonna do a little math for y'all, could do it in your head or whatever like that. So but anyway, so I guess it was because there wasn't, you know, no taxes or anything. So like when you're dealing with money and telling people things, I mean, it should be common sense, but still, you still got to break it down. You still got to break down the details. It may be this is approximate, this is not the, you know, the exact or whatever like that, because some people need the spoon feed or they need the details. Okay, because you want to know step by step, day by day by. Okay, let me stop. Okay, all right, we're gonna get into it. Sidetrack. But anyway, so basically this is Deja and this is her side of the story. So we got Miss Tina. So she did a stitch. That's why she's on the screen right now. So she did a stitch from Tina's video, and then now we're gonna do Deja. So this is part 1 of Deja. I'm gonna do part 2 of Deja, and then that's it. Okay, not that's it, because it's more. Believe it or not, it's more to this story. I'm not gonna go too far into it because this is getting a little bit too much, and I know I'm late to the party, but oh well. All right, I know I talk too much. Probably like, ooh. And a disclaimer: I always say the sound is low when on their video because I'm still learning the software and I'm trying to figure out how to bring this part like up or whatever. So, just bear with me anyway. So this is Deja's side of the story, and I do stop. So if you guys don't like that, because I know that people are like, oh, they be stopping too much. I'm not the only one that's reviewing this, so please don't put that in the comments either, because I be saying I put that in people's comments. That's so irritating. Anyway, so let's get started. Let's get it started. All right, the trash girls trip to Aspen, part 3. Deja, point of view.
I will never take a girls trip with anybody who does not have.
Hey y'all, so I'm the girl in question that she's talking about in this video. I know y'all live for the drama, live for the mess, so I'm just gonna tell the full story here. I did not want to bring this to social media originally, and this was not a discussion we had beforehand. But for me to wake up and see that my information is put for millions of people to see, I'm not looking for people to choose sides. If we're gonna tell a story, let's put the whole thing out there. If we're going to lie, let's have full receipts, okay? Let's tell the full story. Also, just a disclaimer. In general, I'm a kind-hearted person. I do not like making nasty remarks. You know, throughout this whole time, this whole conversation, I'm sitting here trying to be transparent with her. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to communicate. And this is what I get in return. So again, if we want to add fuel to the fire, let's tell the whole story. First and foremost, Tina, the girl in question, the one whose video I'm stitching, is someone that I met in Jamaica. I met her recently in Jamaica for a friend's wedding in September.
I'm sorry, we stopped in a minute in the video, but this is the red flag I was talking about. You just met her in Jamaica. Red flag.
I have no previous relationship, no previous friendship. I truly can't even call her a friend outside of that, and definitely not after this.
Duh.
Also, just a heads up, this story is kind of long, and I want to make sure I'm telling the full story. I'm adding all context, I'm adding all receipts, so I will be making a couple of parts just to make sure we're getting the full story. And once everything's out there, there's nothing else to add or take away, because this is the full story. This is it. So that being said, I met her in Jamaica. I as well met a friend for who the context of this story I will call Maya. Maya and I have kind of kept in touch since September. Haven't heard.
Maya's not the girl's name. You don't know the girl's name. She went to the girls' trip. It's a lot to this story.
Heard from Tina, but she was cool people. She was fun to hang with, like good time. Maya reaches out to me and says, "Hey Deja, would you like to come on a trip to Aspen? These are the dates. No prices discussed. Nothing in terms of an itinerary. It is just, would you like to come?" Sure. I work in travel, so I don't have to worry about flight expenses. So automatically in my head, I'm thinking, oh, okay, a trip to Aspen sounds fun, girl trip. That's about as much context as I have. So initially I say yes, and I'm thinking, okay, we'll have a conversation about expenses eventually. So at this point, I still have not spoken to Tina. I am just thrown into a group chat. There are 7 people total in this group chat. In this group chat,
Interrupting again. I don't know about Androids because I have an Android, so what? Okay. Anyway, I'm sure they have iPhones. I don't know either, but and there's nothing wrong with iPhones. I just love Androids. But can't you remove yourself from a group, or can you request? Because you know how you get those unsubscribe thingies. I mean, you know how you know in the emails you press unsubscribe, go to unsubscribe list, or when they send you a text message you press stop, or I mean you type stop or whatever like that. Like you could do that too. Like please remove me from this group chat. Like let's keep that in mind.
The initial conversation, I was added on January 11th. The initial conversation was nothing but people sharing their names and their social media. There is no talk about plans in Aspen originally, nothing about where we're staying, no itinerary, just, oh, we should add each other to a chat. It's going to be so much fun. We're going to get cute. I think the initial plan was to go out and take pictures, but mind you, I was thrown into this chat at a later time. So I think Tina originally made the plan with her friends, and I'm just thrown in, so I don't have the full context of what this trip is supposed to be to begin with. Okay, so starting here, I will be adding receipts, adding context. So this is the date that I'm adding, January 11th. Obviously, based off of this, there was previous conversation, but this is where I enter the conversation. They're talking about a ride. Maya adds me and says, I'm coming. This is the message that I sent. Mind you, throughout this entire time, throughout this entire conversation, I've sent maybe 3 or 4 messages. Whereas Tina made it seem like I am just responding the entire time and then suddenly go ghost. Once again.
I'm sorry. I meant Tina is not really. If y'all remember, did Tina say that she was responding? I mean, Tina was saying that she wasn't responding, right? I just want to throw that in there.
Adding our social media, introducing ourselves, no talk about prices, just where are we staying, Airbnb. Again, no prices are discussed. This is just people chatting, people talking. Scroll down a little bit. Again, people aren't listing prices. No Airbnbs have been sent at this point. It is just discussion of what could possibly happen out in Aspen. Okay, we're cracking jokes, yada, yada, yada. Tubing sounds like a blast. This is my last message other than like 1 heart. That's it. That was the full. This is my contribution to the conversation that she swears up and down. She was responsive the whole time. She agreed to come on this trip. That's the last.
No, Deja, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. I'm sorry, but she was insinuating. She was assuming that you wasn't saying nothing because I meant that you agreed because you didn't say anything. So she did say that you weren't responding. So her assumptions and her insinuating was her thinking that that was your response. That's by you being silent. That's her saying Deja is responding. So just to clarify that, which was dumb anyway, but silence does not equate to yes. Okay.
Last message I've sent. And again, I'll be adding receipts. I'll be adding proof. On the 13th, she starts sending places. This is where stuff starts getting lost in translation. She says everybody was in agreement. Everybody said yes. She's just sending places and people are either not responding or maybe putting a thumbs up. Again, I will add it in just a moment. But keep in mind there are 7 people in this chat. No one is saying yes. No one's saying no. No one's verbalizing anything. It is just a couple of thumbs up. Okay, so fast forward a bit. Again, January 13th. Mind you, this is that January 11th, I was added to the chat and asked if I wanted to come to Aspen. The trip is supposed to be February 25th through 28th, 29th, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So this is where stuff starts getting interesting.
All right, y'all, we about to break it down and do the math. I got my little pen and pad here, my little post-it, okay? So we're gonna see 406. I got my calculator here. All right, y'all, let's see what's going on. Room is 406 per person. Is that okay? So with that being said, was this with the taxes or without the taxes? See, with people, you gotta, even though it's common sense, you still have to be very detailed. Why is it 406? You know what I mean? So people could have can gauge or whatever like that. So you could say, well, it's a $3.99 fee, it's a $50 fee, it's a this fee or whatever fee, whatever. So you have to be more precise with people. I'm not talking about Deja, I'm talking about Tina. Lord.
It is now January 17th. Tina's posting Airbnb's. Room is 406. One heart. This is what she's claiming everyone agreed to. Someone says works for me. Works for me. One person out of 7. I haven't said anything. She continues to send us a few places. And this is the major part she leaves out. The Airbnbs that she's sending initially were $400. Mind you, on the 17th, that same day, I actually messaged Tina myself, reaching out to her in concerns about the price. So let me rewind a little bit and show you that. Let me rewind just a little bit because I want to make sure I'm adding full context. So as I previously stated, January 13th is when she first starts listing Airbnbs. No one's saying yes, no one's saying no. There might be a heart, there might be a thumbs up, but there's no verbal confirmation from anyone. The 17th is when she's...
Let's keep in mind that Tina thinks silence is agreement. Let's keep that in mind, y'all.
Starts sending additional Airbnbs and she starts talking about prices. I message her on the side and I say, hey girl, I'm trying to gauge the price of everything because I'm not sure about my financial budgeting. I'm about to add this, but I messaged her on the side before anything was booked on January 17th. Once again, here's proof, here's receipts. Hey girl, I'm good on my flight out to Aspen. Let me add some context here as well. I'm good for the flight because I work and travel. I travel for work, meaning that I don't have to pay for the flight. And I'm pretty sure I said that at the beginning, but I want to make it clear again that it wasn't just that I booked a flight and bailed out last minute or that I 100% agreed. I showed y'all I was thrown into a chat. People are just now discussing prices. There's no clear itinerary. And I make it clear from the beginning. Hey, I'm just trying to gauge the price. I also have another friend's birthday coming up and I'm trying to properly plan my finances. This is her response. Yes, just sent listings. Same, I don't want it to be too expensive. You can read the rest. Okay. So again, I will be getting back to that, but I just wanted to show that that was a conversation. I reached out to her beforehand. This was the 17th. She says after this, is this okay? She gets 2 thumbs up and she says, okay, everybody pay $400 and I will pay the rest. She conveniently left this out in her video. $400 is not $525. Those aren't the same 2 numbers, and I will be adding that here. Okay, once again, these are original Airbnbs she's posting. 405 a person, heart your fave. I put a heart on one of them. I think you can see it on one of the other pictures, but that's it. So all I've said so far is my name, my social media. Snowboarding sounds great. There's no blue messages in any of this. And no one's saying anything either. A heart? This is not an agreement. So no one's saying anything, but you said...
Tina thinks it is. Wait. If everyone does $400, I'll pay the rest. Did Tina show that? I don't remember this, Miss Tina. Miss Tina, you got some explaining to do.
Everyone does 400, I'll pay the rest. If everyone does $400, I will pay the rest. If everyone does $400, I will pay the rest. And the reason I'm emphasizing this is because she's trying to make it sound like people are broke. She's trying to make it sound like communication wasn't had. And she's trying to make it sound like everyone gave a consensus where you all could clearly see there was no yes, there was no no. It was maybe a thumbs up or a heart. But at this point, 400 is something I'm willing to do. So after this, someone starts mentioning a jacuzzi. Some people are like, oh, we're going to do Aspen. Let's do Aspen. Tina sends a new place with a listing and says the total will be $28.33 with fees. With fees means you included taxes. That's how I understand with fees. At the time, there are 7 people in the chat. $28.33 with fees, as she claimed, divided by 7 is about $400. $409 to be exact, I believe. $409. Again, for context. $28.33 with fees included. 2 hearts. That's so nice. No one said yes. Let's pick it. Let's.
Oh, so she said with the fees included. So let's do the math. I'm sorry, y'all, but we have to do this, okay? So 2833. Was there any change? Okay, no, her head is in the way. So divided by, so it'll be 404 and some change. So 404 70 cents or something like that. Okay, let's just say 70 cents. Okay.
Go with it. She doesn't discuss price beforehand. Y'all, tell me why the next day she sends a screenshot talking about it's been booked. Everyone owes $525. Send your funds. What? So you went from everybody pay $400, I'll cover the rest, to it's now $525. I will add the receipt. One person says that's so nice. One person says love it. Nothing for me. This is a receipt. These prices aren't matching up with the $28.66. Booked.
All right, y'all. Let's zoom it on in. Cause I can't see that. Hey, what's it doing? I can't zoom in? Oh. All right. So it says $525 a person. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was doing. Okay, so $525 a person. Okay, so the total is $3,150.32. So what is the other fees? So let's see if we can bring it in a little bit more. Okay, so we have $700 3 nights, $2,100. The cleaning fee is $380. The service fee is $353. The property damage protection is $119. The tax is $198.32, which gives a grand total of $3,150.32 divided by 7 people. So here we go. Okay. We're bringing out our trusty calculator, okay? I hope y'all doing this with me so we can get the same. I know you're probably like, you too invested. Look, okay? Y'all right with me, okay? All right. So when we divided $3,150.32 by 7 is $450. Okay, there we go. All right, $450. Okay, because I knew it wasn't that far off. So $3,150.32 divided by 6. This is without deja. Without deja is $525.05, something like that. $525 and some change. Okay, so. Okay, Tina. All right, let's zoom all the way back out. Oh boy, I'm probably gonna have to edit this part. Okay, let me see. Oh no, oh, that's too much. Oops.
Total in person, $525. No discussion beforehand. Part 2 coming up.
Okay. All right, y'all. So, okay, when you divide it by 7 people, it is $450 and some change per person. And then if you left Deja out, it's $525. So, Tina, what? What are you doing? So, this means that this is one or two things. She already excluded Deja out of it, okay? And it became $525. This is what I'm thinking. Maybe Tina already excluded her out. Hopefully that's the case. But now it's kind of still sounding like she was still including Asia. I mean, sorry, I said Asia, Deja, but she's saying it's 525. Tina, how's it 525? 450. It's not far from 525, but still, you know, the rest of the monies matter. I don't know what y'all think. Okay, we're gonna go to part 2. Okay, this is part 2 of Deja. Okay.
When I tell y'all, I will never take a.
Alrighty, folks. This is part 2. Again, just wanting to give full context of the conversation. I am the person, the infamous girl that she's talking about in this video for the girls trip. Again, part 1 gives full context of how I was added into the chat, what my relationship to this girl is, and what our conversation and my contribution to this conversation has been to this point. Okay, so mind you, she doesn't get confirmation from anyone. She just books and posts a receipt and says everyone owes $525. So again, this is a close-up of the receipt.
Oh yes, thank you, Deja.
She told us.
Thank you, Deja. Let's get it. Okay, so we see a little bit more. It's a little bit blurred, but now we can see it. Okay, so 2,100. Okay, 700 plus 3 nights. 2,100. Cleaning fee 300. Okay, I said that already. Okay, I know I repeat myself. So the grand total is $3,150 and $32. Okay, so they split it up. They say the first payment is due by January son, and the next payment is due by February son. So it's a bigger amount, and then whatever. Okay, I want to know what the policy is on. I want to know what the cancellation policy is. Did Tina did she discuss that? She said something about a cancellation fee. So that means you can cancel and there is a refundable. You think so?
Everyone paid $400. I'll cover the rest. Then the next day, apparently we had a new Airbnb where she said fees were included. And now we're at this same place where fees were included. Not sure where she got the numbers from, but this is now the new total. And she says everyone owes $525 each. This is the rest of the conversation. Booked. No one says anything. When will everyone be sending their funds? One person says Friday's payday. Is that okay? I was going to send half now. There's 7 people in this chat and only 2 people are responding. And I'm removed not too long after this. So like, she's trying to make it seem like I said, yes, that's fine. I said, yes, that's okay. That didn't come out of my mouth and no one else here is saying that's fine. Okay, so at this point, I take full accountability.
Keep in mind, Tina thinks silence equals an answer. She thinks that means yes. Let's keep that in mind. This is in Tina's brain.
And I'll say I dropped the ball here. As I previously mentioned, I did reach out to her on January 17th, saying I was concerned about the price. However, I should have made it more clear, but again, as shown in the messages, she said $400, then all of a sudden we were at $525, and it was never discussed beforehand. So at this point, the place is already booked. So I'm trying to figure out my finances. I'm trying to sit here and wonder how to go about this because it's already been booked. It's already on her card. And I'm just trying to figure it out. And again, maybe I should have advocated and spoken for myself more. But I was just between a rock and a hard place because this place is already booked. It's on her card. Like, there was no conversation about whether I was okay with the price beforehand. So on January 31st, Tina reaches out to me again asking if I'll be going on a trip. And I'll be adding this here. Okay, so January 31st. Mind you, I reached out to her on the 17th asking to gauge the price. She never discusses price with me before booking. On the 31st, she says, hey girl, were you still coming on the trip? I respond, hey, my money's looking a little tight. I also don't want to affect the cost of the group for the Airbnb. So I'm just being honest. I never said yes or no. I'm just telling her like, hey, you know, my money's looking tight. Like, we still have not set a clear itinerary. And you're already talking about $500 for like 3 nights in Denver. She says, tight as in you don't think you'll make the trip, or tight as in you don't want to do excursions. LOL. It's lighthearted. I say tight as in by the time I covered everything, I'd be hurting. I'm good on my flight because, mind you, again, I work and travel. I don't pay for my flight. So she's trying to make it sound like, again, I booked a flight and then I bailed out last minute. That's not what happened. I said I'm good for the flight because, again, it's covered by my job. I'd be able to cover the cabin because, again, I have money for it. But I'm thinking it's going to be $400 and an extra $125 can go towards clothes, towards food, something, right? Like, there's not a clear budget that's been set anywhere. So I say, I have the money for the cabin. but I won't have a lot of wiggle room to cover other things necessary. Meaning that if I have to come, if I have to make it work, I can, but I won't be able to do anything else. I am being transparent. I'm not telling her screw you. I'm not saying screw this trip. I'm not communicating with her because I told her to begin with money was a concern. At this point, it's already booked, and I'm trying to work with her. This is my fault, and I shouldn't have done that. But again, I'm just being honest and transparent. It's all right here. Lighthearted. Okay, no worries. The choice is definitely yours. I know as far as food goes, we'll probably be making food. I think everyone's going to do one excursion. Definitely put you first, but let me know whatever you decide. The choice is definitely yours, friend. Definitely put you first. Let me know what you decide. So at this point, I asked to talk to her the next day. I say, okay, I don't want to throw y'all off a bunch in terms of price. I think I asked her if this would affect the rest of the group, and I want to get back to her tomorrow. Okay.
So Tina didn't show that part, and Tina, you're like, yeah, friend. It's a little shady, don't you think? Miss Tina. Anyway, okay.
Here goes again. Okay, would that throw y'all off a bunch in terms of price? I don't want to affect the group. I'm being mindful of the people that are in this chat. It'll be an extra $105 per person. I said, can I let you know for sure tomorrow? Of course. So this is the problem. She lied on me and said I never got back to her. I reached out to her the next day. It's blue. Hey, I did my financial planning for the month, and it's looking like Aspen isn't going to be in the budget for me.
All of that back and forth, scribble, scrabble, scrambling, scraping, all of this. That's what you should have said from the gate, Deja. This was the paragraph that should have been sent from jump when you got into the group, or when there was a few messages when they was looking at stuff. You should have said this right here. I'm sorry. You should have said this right here. This paragraph would have saved you a whole bunch of mess from Tina. This whole thing. That's all you had to say. Right here. I know you was probably trying to see how you could gauge and back and forth, but you should have just said this. That would have saved you a whole lot of heartache and headache and stress.
Next day, not her. Oh no, okay. I'm going to try to save my money up for the girl's birthday. Hopefully I can see you there. There's no mentions of a late fee. There's no mentions of finding a replacement. Nothing. She says, put yourself first, girl. I get it. So this is...
Wait, hopefully I could see you there. Where in Aspen? You just said you couldn't go. Did y'all just hear that? I don't even feel like going back, y'all. It don't even matter at this point.
The thing. This was on January 31st. Put yourself first, girl. Don't worry about it. Put yourself first. I understand people gotta pay for their own stuff. She even said it in her video. But now you're twisting the story and saying I never got back to you, where I just showed y'all proof that I did, one. And two, you said put yourself first. So for you to try to come on here and make my character seem like it's something different than what it is just ridiculous. I'm being very mindful of everyone. I'm thinking about them when honestly, I could have just been like, I ain't got it, girl, and peace out. But that's not how I went about it. I'm very transparent in all of this. So again, she says, you're good, girl. So I start putting my money elsewhere. I start budgeting wherever else I need to. That's just the whole thing. So 2 weeks later, this previous Sunday, she texts me talking about, hey girl, would you mind sending half for your last minute pullout? Pardon me? Sunday. 2 weeks later after you told me, do you, girl, it's fine. Hey, do you mind paying half of the Airbnb due to last minute cancellation? We weren't able to find someone to replace your spot. Replace what spot? You just told me it was fine. What would be considered half? Because I'm thinking surely she's not asking for half of something she said was fine. Would there be any alternatives? I reached out to you before the Airbnb was booked to express my concern about the price. And then again, once I realized I wouldn't be able to afford it, I double checked with you ahead of time that it wouldn't affect the overall trip and the overall group. And there was no mention of me having to pay a cancellation fee or having to find a replacement. So I don't see fit for me having to pay half. I am sitting here having this whole conversation with her. Half of...
Okay, this is sounding like a job because you trying to find a replacement to what to cover you? Like what? Like, oh, you have to find a replacement. What? What? Sounds like a big ball of confusion. That's what it sounds like.
Would be 262. I believe that I said it'd be an extra 105 a person. Yada yada yada. I can let everyone know that they would just have to pay the extra amount. The room was booked on the 26th. Give me a second to respond. I'm on this flight, so she knows my occupation, mind you. I finally got a free moment, and I'll show you that message in just a moment. But throughout all of this, I'm just wondering, like, what audacity to come back to someone 2 weeks later to ask them for some money for a trip that they're not going on. And the fact that you booked it means you had the money, so you're not hurting for that 262. So why are you harassing me about it and calling me broke? I don't get it, but everyone doesn't want to pay an extra $100 and I'm the brokey? I don't want to pay that amount to go to Colorado. I travel for work. I've been to Colorado. So unless I'm paying that for excursions, it just doesn't make sense to pay that, one. And two, I have other stuff that I financially need to plan for. And I told you that ahead of time. Again, I finally caught a free moment. I don't have $262 to put towards a trip because I'm not going at this point. Why would I pay you almost $300 to not go? When I expressed my concern about my monthly budgeting and you told me it was up to me, I put my money elsewhere. I'm covering my bills. I said I totally understand I'm wanting the trip to fall apart.
Oh, sorry, y'all. I think somebody was calling her phone. So that was her. That was her. Wasn't me.
I apologize for pulling out. I was expecting the trip to be a different amount based off of the group chat because she said y'all pay $400. $525 came out of nowhere, and I'm still in constant communication. And I said maybe I just misunderstood her. The next day, she is on here making videos and twisting stories. And in the first video, y'all did y'all big one. Y'all ate her up in those comments because what she was saying didn't make any sense. Then she starts twisting this story to try to make it fit for her. Moral of the story is, y'all blew that video up. She got millions of views. She's now got more than that portion back. She's got her money back. So now she's just milking it. This is all social media. This is all marketing. She's a creative. She's a smart girl. She did her big one with that one. But I figured if we're going to lay it out, even if this doesn't get views like that, let's just tell the full story. Let's get the full context. Mind you, by the way, she said we're all grown. We're all at least 25. I'm 25 and she's 32. Sit and think about that. You are 32 acting like this when you could have just talked to me, playing nice in my messages and coming on here and playing mean girl. Girl, bye.
All right, y'all. So basically, I have her talk in the background because I don't want it, no still picture or whatever. All right, so we're done with Deja's story. She basically told her side and what was going on, and how she felt and everything of the case. I just have to say I feel for Deja. Now that when I watched it before, but now watching it again, it's like, I kind of feel bad, like, like for her, because it's like Tina, like she messed up big time. Coming back and asking for the money 2 weeks later was kind of like how you say, probably a little bit distasteful. If y'all agree with me, I don't know, because it's kind of their fault. Well, it's kind of Deja's fault too, because she should have said from jump that she didn't want to go, and then she wouldn't have to go back and forth with this, because it's like she did back out, and then so Tina is asking for the money because she backed out. So, but then it's like, Tina, you should have been clear and concise with her and asked if she was going, and said what was what or whatever the case is, and not include her, because looking at the math, you basically really didn't include Deja, because it was $525. Okay, it was $450, then it turned to $525, so that would have been without Deja anyway. So like, did you exclude her anyway. So it's like, it's a, you know, so I do feel for Deja. Like I said, Deja should have just told her from jump, hey girl, you know, it sounds like fun. I would try to go. Maybe I'll catch you on the next run. But right now I can't do it because I'm going on a trip in the next 2 weeks or whatever, whenever she was going with the other girl. I believe it's Michaela. Okay. And that's a whole nother story. We gonna get into that though. But, so, and also Tina, like, you over here doing all this stuff, orchestrating and all, doing all this crazy, oh, no worries, and all this other stuff. Tina was trying to sound nice in the background, like Deja was saying, like she was sounding nice, like on, you know, in the background, but you know, she come on social media, it's a whole different ball game, and I didn't know she had that many views on her video anyway, so she did, I guess, do her big one or whatever like that. She brought everything to social media. I just want to say this is a lesson learned, Deja. Like, just, you know, go with your gut feeling next time, or if somebody come to you, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but what I would do, especially if I, like, say if I, of course, if you got plans on those dates and somebody come to you, oh, I've got plans, but if you don't have nothing planned, it was something like a real quick thing, like, oh, I usually say, oh, let me see. It sounds like fun. Let me see. I don't just say, yeah. Like, I'm like, yeah, it sounds fun, but let me see my finances. Let me see if I can get off work. Let me see if there's anything, you know, conflicting in the schedule. I'm not just going to up and jump and, you know, just be like, because I have to see what's going on in the background. Especially I'm talking about like with a group trip, because you have to have all the monies and everything together because you're dividing and splitting it between people. So, you know, like I said before, the more people, the less it is, the less people, the more it is. So you just want to make sure the monies is all together. And it's not about saying that the girl is broke. I don't know if Tina was saying she was broke, or there was other videos, because we're going to go into those other videos. It's not about being broke. It's like when you're going on a trip, you have to be financially stable and be secure and have enough money and not be stressed and, you know, on pins and needles, hoping that, you know, that $50 or whatever is going to hold you for the next night or whatever the case is, which is terrible, but I'm sure people have done it. And so, like, you know, going away, you should have at least like 2K, 3K, maybe even 4K, just to be comfortable, you know, with, you know, you have to, you know, take in, you know, if there's any accidents or anything going on or whatever the case is, anything could come up, God forbid, and you have to use some money or extra money to do this, that, and the third. So, but like I said, this is a lesson learned for Deja and also for Tina too. But dealing with somebody and y'all don't even know each other, it's just like, and I'm doing a video with something else, but anyway, not with this, but it's gonna be something else. But like, y'all, it's just screaming a big ball of confusion, just trash communication. And Deja did take accountability a few times, so that's good on Deja's part. She said it, but then she was like, but, you know, like, still saying, because I don't know if Tina took any type of accountability. I don't know, accountability. If she did, let me know, y'all. But I see Deja is like more sincere, and she, you know, and like I said, she was concerned about, you know, the other people in the group about paying an extra because she backed out or whatever the case is. So I see her as a more concerned individual, and, you know, whatever the case is. But this is a lesson to be learned. We go through things, experiences and stuff like that to know for the next time. Now, if you do it again the next time, then it's just dumb. Okay. Just please, y'all just need to stop. Okay. This is why the trips, y'all need to stop. Y'all don't learn from all these trip stories. Like, let's have the girls' trips look nice. Okay. Let's have it look like it's conducted well. It's always some type of drama with women. Like, just stop it. Like, just go on a trip and have fun and stress free. That's the whole point. You go to work, you do this, you do that, day to day. You just want to go out and have fun. You got to be stressed about money and people canceling flights and taking this, taking that, and then talking to them, come on social media, told my son, I'll never do a girls trip again. This is the best girl trip, Miami, and all. Nobody got time for that. Nobody. And these people, I never knew nothing about no Tina and Deja until they popped on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody a content creator now, especially on TikTok. Okay. It's like, you know, like, But anyway, so let me know your thoughts, what y'all think. I just think it's a big ball. Y'all know, it's trash communication to me. But like I said, Deja, like I feel she was like a little bit more sincere. She took accountability, but still, she was still wrong too. So, but Tina is just like, I'm gonna just say for Tina, she could be a good saleswoman because she like real like yeah, we gonna do this. Like she a real fast slick talker, you know. So it's like you gotta be careful with people like that. Like, okay, slow down. Like they talk so fast, you know. I talk fast too, but I'm not trying to slick talk anybody. But she the type that be saying all this stuff and then just like, oh, this will be fun, this will be good. Oh, but we just gotta pay the 4 or 5, but then the 2,183, and then we do this and like that. But now they got like, come on now, like she doing an auction out here. Like nobody got time. Okay, we don't got time for you, Tina. All right. So Deja, I hope you do learn this valuable lesson, and this is a lesson for others to learn too. Like they could look out for these red flags. They could look out for these things and be like, oh no, I remember that one time. Okay, like that. So yeah. So this is a lesson learned, a good learning tool. This is for educational purposes. Okay, y'all. Okay. All right. So hopefully this is it for you, Deja, and you know, and you seem like a nice person. She does. She seems like a nice person, very sincere. So sorry this happened to you, Deja. Hopefully you pick better friends. I don't like, don't ever make this mistake again. But that's it. Okay, we're done with Deja. Not to say it like that, but this is her page if you guys want to go check her out. She did put out a video, another video, so if you want to go follow her, go on ahead. She's on TikTok. But that's about it. So I'm out of here, y'all. We will continue. Now the next part is going to be when they actually went to Aspen. I'm trying to see, should I start with Tina or we're gonna start with Michaela? I gotta see how to order it. Oh, I'm saying her name right, but yeah. So, and her and Deja are friends. I think they're like really friends, I think. So all right, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Do you think Tina is like what do you think about Deja's part or side of the story? Like, do you think she's sincere? Do you think she's, you know, like what do you think? I feel kind of bad for Deja. Like me, I don't know. That's just me. That's like the heart in me. Like I feel her, like, but still she was wrong. But at the same time, you know, just gotta stop giving people benefits of the doubt sometimes. But yeah. All right, y'all. So I'm out. I will be back with another video, and let me know if you guys like this. And thank you, Deja, for not doing a lot of cursing. I don't have to edit as much. Yeah, like I don't have nothing against people cursing, but it's just for editing purposes. Just like But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. Bye.